Yep, Shameless is quite young as well, but he's not 16. I think Iba, you can safely say, mate, is the best 16-year-old on the planet. I don't think that is an incorrect statement. I really can't think of any other 16-year-old that's anywhere near the level of Iba at the moment. There have obviously been people in the past that were ridiculously good when they were 16. Think of a man on Basilisk, Reynor. The moment he turned 16, he immediately made it to a couple of WCS Grand Finals. He how did he do that year at BlizzCon? I mean, he made it to the he even won a tournament, right, when he was 16. GG Machine is 15, exactly, but he's not 16. So Iba is the best 16-year-old. We can safely say that. Clem was also very, very good the moment he turned 16, but not quite as good as Reynor was at that point. For Clem, it took a little bit longer, but obviously became ridiculously good by the time he turned like 18, 19. But he was immediately competitive, right? I think somewhat similar to maybe Iba's level at the moment. Like, good enough to make the better players in Europe sweat, put up one hell of a fight. I don't think there is much of a difference between the level of those guys. Now, Shameless is a little bit old. I think Shameless is like 19. I can take a look, guys. Shameless, Wikipedia. Russian Art is also young, by the way. Shameless is 18. Born on the 11th of May. Very close to a special day. Russian Art, Wikipedia, Protos. I've never seen him, by the way. Good looking kid. March 1918. So both Russian Art and Shameless are somewhat close to each other. I guess he just had his birth. No, it's coming up. It's not March 19 yet. So 2 months apart, and they're both damn good at the video game. Okay, we're still waiting for Iba, guys, but Iba has just come online, so they're just gonna do their vetoes. Hopefully they'll leave a couple of the very fun maps in there. That would make me happy, but I think a TVZ with Moja, always fun, always fireworks. We know we're gonna see a lot of Marines. We know we're gonna see eventually probably a low SCV count and a ridiculously large Terran army. I enjoy watching Moja. Moja's just a fun guy to watch. Iba is playing Zerg. I mean, why not both, Kubbles? I've never said anything bad about older guys being great at the game. I've never said one time where like, yeah, like Cure, when he became very good at 27, I wasn't impressed. Like, I've never said that. I just think it's awesome. And what is incredibly important is that there are new young people still getting into StarCraft and getting good. Because we cannot rely on the same guys that are currently good or were good 7 years ago to be good forever. Young blood is incredibly important to have a thriving scene, to have a scene that we can get excited over. But I wouldn't say that one is better than the other. The thing is, a lot of youngsters, they are just starting their journey in esports. They've never really made any money. They don't even really know the ins and outs. So obviously for me, it's fun to follow their journey, support them a little bit. You know, hype them up, hopefully get other people excited over them so they get more excited knowing that people care about them rather than an old veteran. I think both is awesome, but I just think it's the nice thing to do to give a warm welcome to young and upcoming talent into the scene. I would say that Cure is an example of somebody who really got better when he was older. Cure was obviously always around and he was good, but he was never that good that he could win a GSL. Or he was never that good that he could go to the grand finals of Gamers 8. And he did. Gumio is maybe a 50-50. I find Gumi mega impressive, but we can't ignore the fact that Gumio was already very impressive in some of the early days. And Hero might also be... I mean, it's hard because it's not like Hero never won anything many years ago. Hero did win. Hero won IEM after IEM when we had IEM stops. He was always around, but it's obviously mega impressive that Hero can be as good as he was 8 years ago currently in the grand scheme of things. Thank you, Allison. Yeah, we just try. Obviously, I feel that StarCraft is still a very fun game, but it's not the biggest game out there. So then I think it is important to give some love to guys that otherwise would have a hard time breaking through. Or girls, for that matter. But we need to inspire a few more ladies to keep their head down and grind StarCraft 24/7. That'd be amazing. Starcraft is just incredibly brutal, especially with the state of Battle.net right now. This is a completely different conversation, but I think it was also a lot more doable many years ago for youngsters to truly make a name for themselves and break through. It was easier to gain a following, it was easier to just ladder all day and get close competitive matches and, you know, make your way through the ranks like that. It's tough at this point. It's very, very tough for youngsters, but it's awesome to see kids like Iba still playing and trying. Kids like Fjont, Russian Art, Shameless, and they really did get mega good. If they were this good 10 years ago, they'd be superstars. But this is an incredibly slow veto process between Iba and Moja. I thought I was dealing with pros here. Alright. They have found their maps, guys. Errolholm, Moonwater, Ultra Love, Whispers of Gold, and Leyline. So we're gonna go back to back new fancy cool maps. And then we go into a couple of the maps that are currently played on the ladder. What happened to Stormgate? It's around. You can play it. I actually think that I'm gonna get a Stormgate statue. You know that guy with the Gatling gun? Or the big machine gun, whatever it's called. I think it's a Gatling gun. They had a statue for people that like backed it. But I don't think I did, but apparently I'm on a special people list and they're like, hey, we're gonna send you a goodie box, and I was like, sick. I do love statues. Even if I'm not playing a lot of Stormgate at the moment, I will not say no to a statue. Got a sexy Broodlord statue behind me. We've got a Carrier statue over here. We got a Battlecruiser statue over here. I'll take a Stormgate statue. I have no thoughts on Tempest Rising other than every single time I've seen something of the game, I think it looks legitimately very cool. But just by it looking cool doesn't mean that it's going to be a fun game for me to play or watch or cover or stream. But the few moments of gameplay that I've seen, it looks sick. Like, it does look very sick. Absolutely ready, yeah. Totally ready. Been for 12 minutes. Kids these days. So slow. Alright. Memeing a little bit with the players, as Indy was double checking to see if I was ready, but yeah, I have been ready for a little while. Let's do it, guys. A ZVT Moja versus Iba. Iba has played BBB in the past, but technically that wasn't allowed, but we made some special exceptions during like the Epic Land editions. Obviously, ever since he turned 16, he's always welcome, and we celebrated him turning 16 with a main event invite. It's technically a little early for him to be main invite quite often. So this time, just second match of the night. And I think for a second match of the night, this honestly has fireworks potential. I love it. I hope you guys will love it. I hope we can get excited together. Let's do it.
Let's get it on. Round 1. Fight.
Top right side of Errolholm, we are looking at the main base of our German Terran. He is known for his 8 racks. He loves playing TVZ. One of the favorite games I've seen in the last few years was Moja against Reynor on Amphion, where Moja had Reynor dead. Literally dead for rides. He had him on the ropes, but then he pulled, as what I like to call, a demo. He stimped forward 88 Marines into 4 Lurkers with Queen support. And let me tell you, it didn't end well for the Marines. Banger game though, it was a lot of fun. It was just a ladder game, but I really enjoyed watching that one. This is Moja. Let's hope for him. No demos tonight. Bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of our UK Zerg, who turned 16 a couple weeks ago. I get excited over this kid as he's so damn good for his age, and he's always been fun and kind and positive. This is Iba. Not a cuckoo. Cuckoo is more of a doom dropper. There was one screenshot that the kids used to share all the time in the Team Roddy Discord, and that is from Cuckoo's stream. He was playing a ladder game. And imagine this is the edge of his opponent's main base, and it's turret, 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 turret. There are 4 medevacs here, and Cuckoo's got like a bit of an anxious face, and he's still boosting in. And Goblin absolutely loved it, and Baby Marine absolutely loved it. And they bullied our Romanian youngster about it for a while. The Cuckoo drop. I don't know if Cuckoo is quite known for his forward stimps. Cuckoo is great in sniping disruptors, and that is one more thing that he was known for. Don't know if I've really seen him try to snipe Lurkers a whole lot. I feel most of the time whenever Cuckoo played TVZ, games were over before Lurkers. He either won or he lost. Thank you to Stuafu for the 36 months, 3-year anniversary. We'll take that. Yes, the opening phase is done. It's very standard. We obviously expect a lot of Ajax coming out of Moja. And Ibas is going to try to get a good economy going, keep his drone safe, get some troop spread going, and we'll take it from there. Reminds you of Command & Conquer Red Alert. I guess you're talking about Tempest Rising. Yeah, it did remind me of that a little bit too. And that made me think of my older brother. I have one older brother, and he still loves playing Command & Conquer after all these years. I tried to get him into Warcraft, he didn't like it. I showed him Starcraft, he absolutely didn't like it, but he still loves playing Red Alert. I personally think that actually Macabellum is a great game for my brother. If he will just give it like 30-40 minutes, I really believe that he would actually have fun with it. But my brother, if you guys think I'm stubborn, my brother is a whole nother level of stubborn. His reason for not playing StarCraft is that he doesn't play anything with the word craft in it. That literally makes 0 sense. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. And I'm ashamed to call that my bigger brother. But I think it's just because he's upset because he doesn't know what the word craft means. But that's my theory. Red Alert 2 was an amazing game. I played a lot of Red Alert. I mean, that was my first ever online RTS experience. And people were brutal back then. It was fun. I would always refresh the leaderboard, see how I was doing. Try to catch up to my bigger brother. Try to get close to him. He was a bit higher ranked than me. And because of that, he still has an ego many years later. Thank you to Biker for the 17 months. Hello, matey. First to Hellions, not really getting a whole lot done. Excellent defense on the side of Iba, who has gone for a gasless opening. So you delay gas a little bit, you get a couple roaches, and you take it from there. Meanwhile, Moja, very casually, a fusion core. I am not going to do a fusion core dance for you guys, but feel free to do it behind your own computer, TV, laptop, iPad, monitor, whatever the hell you're watching this on. A battle cruiser. All this talk about Ajax. Ajax. He talks about it, he embraces the memes, he loves it. It's all you ever hear from him. And instead, he's gonna kick things off with a BC opening. That is quite something. You think he's gonna go all out mech? There are bio follow-ups from a battlecruiser opening. It is not impossible. But right now it's definitely starting to look like a bit of mech. I don't know. Moja is tough. Because if he doesn't Ajax, I am lost. We are getting a very early armory, but that could just be to morph the Hellions into Hellbats. A Hellbat BC opening. Iba's got 5 queens, guys. That's not a crazy amount of queens, and he doesn't have... Well, he's got 2 spores. Let's go ahead and follow the camera of Iba. For the next 30-40 seconds, I just want to show you guys what Iba is looking at. So this camera is going to be a bit jumpy. It's going to be all over the place. We don't quite see his mouse movement. Now he sees all these Hellions morphing into Hellbats, and he's probably like, what the hell? That's so many freaking Hellbats! Oh, the drones! Fire badges would be proud. That is 6 drones going down immediately. Make it 8. Iba's in trouble. And this is the one base where he doesn't have a spore, so it's a lot of Hellbats, a landed Viking, and a battlecruiser on top of his ladies. Oh, Iba. We can blindly expect an Ajax all day, every day, but that is a lot of Hellbats, and the Queens are not going to win that fight against that battlecruiser. It is a bio follow-up, by the way, on the side of Moja. Moja's is winning here, right? This is just a win. 0 queens right now. There are 0 queens on the side of Iba. 1 queen just popped from this lair in the main, but that queen is going to die immediately. This BC is living his best glory, GoldenEye days. I don't know if you guys have watched GoldenEye as many times as I have, but one of my favorite movie scenes ever is Boris. Boris with the panda, he's flicking around. And in one moment he stands up and he shouts, "I am invincible!" I named this battlecruiser Boris. I love Boris. There's a second battlecruiser out as well that is going to deal with the Roach counterattack. Decent idea here by Iba just to get that BC away from his main. And it can buy some time, but so much damage has been taken. GoldenEye is so goated. I know I've said that probably around 27 Big Brain Bouts already, guys, but you know, if you're here every single Monday and Friday, eventually you're going to repeat yourself a little bit. And I just get excited over things that I love. And GoldenEye N64 and the movie are goated. The best Bond movie of all time. Nothing can get close. This time, Mr. James. The pleasure will be all mine. Natalia. Big fan. They are re-releasing. I saw that they're also re-releasing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. And I played a very tiny bit of 1 and 2 on the PlayStation, but for some reason I didn't have that much fun. But I played so much Tony Hawk 3 and 4 growing up that I think I might buy it. I might give it a shot. Yeah, Natalia was Dutch. It's indeed a Dutch actress. It's funny because he's really not ultra well known, I think, in the Netherlands, but or Otta Top, whatever she was called. Oh, Famke Janssen. Yeah, no, okay, she's actually pretty known. I take it back. Famke Janssen is actually quite well known. Didn't he jump from an airplane and landed at a bar stool next to a gorgeous girl in GoldenEye? That sounds like every James Bond movie. I mean, GoldenEye, I don't know. Where do you start describing GoldenEye, mate? It had a massive dam. For England, James? No. For me. GoldenEye is just amazing. The Roach counterattack, by the way, definitely got done what Iba was looking for, because Moja gave it a lot of respect. I think, honestly, with one BC at home, Moja could have just killed those roaches and keep doing his own thing with the one BC that was going completely uncontested in the main. By going home, I feel like he gave Iba maybe a tiny shot, but this is obviously it's not a good scenario for the Zerg. Moja's got not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, but 8 barracks pumping out Marines. He's got double eBay. How many medevacs? 3. Unless we completely fumble. And we have horrible Marine micro. Moja should be more than fine here. This is indeed hell for the Zerg. This is kind of like being a 13k Paradox and having to deal with a 23k Calico. Not that I would know anything about, but since Mixu is doing better and better in Deadlock, I think we can turn hell into the Zerg for hell for the Paradox. Iba's trying to buy some time with a couple of queens. He's got 19 Banelings with speed, Banes with speed, Corruptors, and Links on creep though. Marines actually clump up. Perhaps not the best micro ever. I don't think it really matters. I mean, Moja's in such a freaking good spot. But that was not great by Moja. Now it's on creep. It's very hard to micro on creep. Moja does need to be a tiny bit cautious though, guys, because now we have lost our BCs and we are still outnumbered. The upgrades are still looking good. He is going to get a massive 2-2 window over his opponent, killing a base, killing 13 drones. All of that is awesome. That was not good. Maybe that's just because he's so far ahead and he's like, alright, let's go ahead and split a little bit and end it. Get ready for game 2. But on this level, people are always capable of turning things around. If you leave the door open, if you kind of don't control your units properly anymore. That was a good fight for Iba. It might just be a little bit too late to have a massive impact on the outcome of this game. 10 count only 3. You do it one more time and you're allowed to dream. Technically, this is hell for the Zerg. And Iba's in trouble as Iba does counterattack, kills a tank, might grab a second tank here. That's 2 out of the 3 tanks, guys. Off creep, Moja should have a much better time microing Marines and Marauders, especially with the 2-2 advantage that he has over the 1-1 for the Zerg. Our German Terran player Moja gets 1 good tank shot off on the Banes, gets a second good tank shot off, and that will still do it. Moja takes the 1 lead. Gotta say that if I was Iba, I'd be like, well, that was as bad of a start as I'm ever going to have tonight. Unless maybe you die to like proxy 2 racks or proxy 3 racks. And he still found some little wins, so I don't think this is necessarily an indicator for how the entire series will go. Akaroni, the man with some of the worst takes that I've ever seen. I'm starting to believe, guys, that Akaruni is trolling the old man. With the amount of nonsense that he is posting in my Discord, And if you guys don't use Discord and you're wondering what I'm talking about, Akaroni says he would casually win a 1v2 if he has infinite gas versus Reynor and Serral. Then he also says he would win 1 against 10 if he has infinite minerals against 10 5k MMR players. Some of the historic worst takes that I have ever seen. Waiting for the date. Yeah, I want to see you against 4 of us. Because I don't think you can handle 5. I believe you against 4 with infinite minerals. I think that's a fine line of it being fun and you having a shot. But I actually think you'll get blasted. Even with infinite minerals, I think you lose against 4 Roddies. Or slightly less versions of Roddies, to be fair. 5 you wouldn't be able to handle. I am so certain of that. 4, tiny chance. You'd win versus not... Yeah, in a 1v1, sure. I believe that in a 1v1 you would win against anybody. But that's not what you said. You said you would win 1 against 10. And that is obviously ridiculous, because you wouldn't. You would never. Alright, here we go. 1-0 lead for our German Terran.
Round 2, fight!
$80 is on the line for this best of 5 BASILISK Big Brain Bouts number 88. If you guys have any questions about the Big Brain Bouts, obviously always feel free to send them my way. We also have a Discord channel where you guys can apply to play, !Discord. Cannot guarantee that you'll play as soon as you write something, but I will guarantee that I take a look at it. So that's something. It's an opening. Top right side of Moonwater, we are looking at the main base of our German Terran. He's up 1. It's Moja. Yeah, I like Moonwater as well. So it's a bit of a year 0, but then with some 2 rivers or Ghost River, whatever the name of the map was. It's like a mixture, right? If year 0 and the Ghost River had a baby, I kind of feel like we have Moonwater. And it's a pretty baby. It's kind of like when 2 not very good looking parents decide to make love and they have a baby and you're like, damn, that's a good looking baby. That was really done by you guys, yeah. Year 0 and Ghost River are the proud owners of this baby, and the baby looks better than the parents. Top left side, this is Iba. Whoa, I mean, come on, mate. We're making a joke about maps. That's not bad. This applies to absolutely nobody other than Year 0 and Ghost River. And you know what? I don't care about the feelings of Ghost River. That map was a little too Terran biased. Yeah, but Kubels, in what universe do you think that if you play against 4 people, that worker rushing with 12 workers even is going to do anything for you? That would actually be a horrible thing, because you wouldn't even win the worker fight. Then you would, let's say, get even with one of the 4 and then you lose against the other 3. You need probes to get gases. I mean, we can see it. No, not Archon. No, we're not talking Archon. We're talking about 4 people with fully functioning bases. He needs probes to build buildings. He needs probes, most importantly, and I feel like nobody understands this, but the real angle of someone playing Protoss, having infinite minerals, is gas. It doesn't matter how many minerals you have. You need gas. And until you have gas, you can't really do anything with it. 4 people, 2 of them can go all out on gas harassment, and the other 2 can just macro up to Hive, Skytoss, whatever. And you can just limit the gas income, and then they're gonna make like what? 80 slow zealots? Woo! Eventually they have zealot charge. Oh no, big deal. Still no gas. You can be max all you want, mate. Be max as slow zealots, I don't care. Infinite cannon rush. Well, Acheron couldn't cannon rush in a normal game, so I don't understand how we will be able to macro up, start taking bases, start saturating gases, and cannon rushing 3 people. If you cannot cannon rush 1 guy, how are you going to do cannon rush 3 guys? We're not talking about the finest AI Protoss master computer that we've ever seen. We're talking about a 5.3k Protoss. In general, we're proud when they can build 2 pylons and warp in a gateway. We're like, he's onto something over here. This man is not suddenly partying in his prime, where he's cannon rushing 3 different guys, building production facilities, saturating gases, keeping workers on gases safe. That's not doable. But yeah, we're gonna do it. We will do it. And I don't think he beats 4 people. But if he does beat 4, he definitely won't beat 5. And 10 is an absolute joke. Like, I will not even address the 10. You can max out on slow zealots all he wants. You guys know how many zealots it would take to get through a full wall off? Infinite. Oh, then you're crazy, Ronsky. You're absolutely crazy. Because slow zealots don't accomplish anything. And the guys can just wall off together. And can just focus on gas harassment. Two guys can tack up and the other two can harass gas. But we'll make it happen. We'll talk about that later. For now, we're going to talk about Moja versus Iba. Moja has opened up with a 3-Rex. The build that never loses in TVP. In this matchup, it might lose sometimes. Iba is looking for the Serral. It's going to get a Serral, but firepower of the Marines is pretty damn high. I mean, it's not bad for Iba, right? You trade out 24 Marines, but you kill 8 of the... 24 Zerglings, excuse me. But you kill 8 of the Marines. You keep the Queen safe. You've got a pretty solid economic start to this game. If I was the UK Zerg, I wouldn't be upset unless the Marines step forward here and kill the hatchery, but Iba should be able to get the heads up and cancel, and he does cancel. I think you guys also underestimate how incredibly bad it is to be limited to 200 supply, while the other 4 can go up to 800 supply. And even if you have 60 gateways, 80 gateways, that would mean that you have 4 warp-in cycles to get up to 800 supply. That's not great. And only gateway units, we all know that gateway units are incredibly good up to a certain point. And then you need to be ahead in upgrades, which you need gas for, which you need bases for. Akaruni is going to get cooked. He is going to get cooked. He's going to get cooked by the boys. You have to win in the early game? No, we don't have to win in the early game. Because you don't die to only zealots. I don't care if you have 60 zealots or 120 zealots or 200 zealots. Spread over like a minute and a half against like 700 or 800 supply, it won't do much. Moja does not have 700 supply of Marines, but he does have 32 of them. He is stimming them. He needs to be very, very cautious here. Iba is just trying to buy some time until he's got Bane speed. I'm excited to play it. Me too, mate. I am excited. We'll have some fun. But for now, we're going to have some fun with Moja and Iba. I feel like Iba's got a pretty sexy setup overall. He's got a good read on the situation. Moja has a 3rd command center that is done. Wasn't quite an orbital yet. It just turned into an orbital. Bailing speed, 15 seconds. I wouldn't say these are the longest 15 seconds of Iba's life, but now we're kind of leading the attack right before bane speed. And there are just so many Zerglings that it really doesn't matter. Fantastic engagement by the youngster. Iba is showing us that he's a gamer. And Moja apparently completely missed the pickup. I thought he was able to save some of the Marines there. He saved nothing. Yeah, he's got +1, he's got combat shield, he's got stim, but the supply is just a little too heavily in favor of Zerg. This is one of these moments where you guys can say, Roddy, look at these supply. Don't ask me why, but recently I've been thinking, and I shared this once with you guys, but you guys may not know this. Or not everybody was there. Let's put it like that. Some of you guys will know. A lot of you guys don't know. There was an IEM Katowice where someone high up in ESL, I won't mention the name, someone high up in ESL who had veto power basically said, we're going to run this Starcraft 2 IEM Katowice tournament and we're going to remove the production tab. We're just going to remove as much as possible and we're going to give people all the excitement by having less information. And back then I thought it was a bad idea just because fans are so used to having all the info, seeing the numbers, seeing the upgrades, seeing the production tab. But over the last few days, when I was just, I don't know, doing nothing, chilling, sitting in my chair, I've been thinking about it a bit more again. And even if I think initially it would have been very rough, I actually think over time, if you just get used to the new norm where you get less info, it would be very exciting. Because a lot of games are very hard to call if you don't exactly know everything that's happening behind. So obviously the dedicated observer becomes incredibly important, but not even the best dedicated observer could show all the units all the time, all the upgrades, and then do the quick math. How much do they have? How the upgrades? How the units scale? When are certain upgrades kicking in? It's like almost impossible to keep up with everything if you don't have the production tab. I feel like it would legitimately make watching StarCraft, on average, a lot more exciting. And I know it'd be very tough at first to get into it. But I think if everybody would just apply it and it'd be the new norm, it would actually be damn exciting. Because there are a lot of games where the excitement kind of just kills a little because people see 40, 50 supply lead ahead in upgrades, ahead in bases. Why don't we just do it now? If you guys want, next game, we'll do one entire game without the production tab. That would be very challenging for me as well. That means less yapping and more working. Now, I am a manager now, so I do have to work a little bit, you know. I'm starting to get used to the office life, but I'm a yapper. I gotta stay true to what I am, and I am a yapper. You say hard pass? That's alright, mate. One game. Unfortunately, unlike the man from ESL, you do not have veto power on this channel. We can give it a shot for one game. And just see how well you guys will stay intriguing. Why would it be interesting? Because you just see units battling and you don't necessarily always know who's winning. That's why it's interesting. But obviously you have a lot of info at the bottom, and that's going to be very, very telling. But when it comes down to like certain upgrades kicking in, not knowing if they're ready, not knowing if people have something, there really is a solid argument for it to be made that sometimes less is more when it comes to the excitement. In Warcraft 3 we never had any of those things, and I enjoyed casting everything. You'll still see the upgrades, yeah, because of the... I mean, I could just turn off the overlay too and go for the most basic old school layout, but I think that will be a little bit painful for you guys to watch. Thanks for getting massive shots off here on the Lings in the Base. Planetary is doing his thing as well. This is a great hold by Moja, and especially if he's able to do something on the other side of the map as well, he'd be more than back into this. Apparently his drop in the main base didn't get a whole lot done, but just stabilizing on 4 bases is already massive for a Terran. What happened game 1? Mass Hellbat battlecruiser opening of 2 bases, Figaro. And Iba was not ready at all. Took a crazy amount of damage. Was eventually able to get a Spire, but he lost all 5 queens, lost 15 drones. The game was basically over. Boris the battlecruiser was invincible and won the game. I mean, technically, I could do this. No, wait, this looks bad. This is not what I need. I mean, like, there is just the very, very, very basic, like the playing overlay. But I don't want to do that. That's a bit much. I do that as well. That's me, TBD forever. And a lot of good observers. Iba throws a lot of Lings and Banes into the Terran army. Got some connections, but I gotta say, Iba's gotta be losing more resources at this point, and he absolutely is. He has lost almost 4,000 more. Nothing to panic over yet, but Iba eventually is gonna need to get a little more ROI on some of these attacks. He's also not getting adrenal glands. You know, that really upsets me, guys. Reynor sometimes doesn't get it on purpose, just because he knows that I'm gonna talk to you guys about adrenal glands over and over again, and he thinks it's very funny not to get it. What a kid. It has nothing to do with catering to... If anything, Athif, it's not towards the hardcore audience. It is towards the casual audience. And maybe to some... Because if you're a very hardcore fan and the observer's doing a good job, you still know exactly what is up. So it's literally the opposite of what you're trying to argue for here. It would make the game a lot more exciting for people that are not Omega Starcraft 2 experts. Because you'll just see a lot of units everywhere. And I feel like, if anything, all this info is actually good for the diehard fans, because people will read tech trees, they will read upgrades, they will read the numbers, and they can put 2 and 2 together immediately. Like any game of StarCraft 2, even if I haven't been watching, if I take a 2-second look at all this information that's available to me, I will know immediately pretty much what is up. Sometimes it's going to be close, sometimes it's not close. You show me 3 things and I can basically tell you how the game should go from here on out. So what you're saying is literally the complete opposite. But nice try, though. Huh? Imagine trying to make a point and literally having the opposite point. Ay caramba. Impressive, actually. I'm impressed, mate. We've got 6 ghosts on the map here for Moja. 8 tanks, 7 marauders, 22 marines, and a couple of medevacs. Does he have his sexy medevac upgrade? Yes, he does. Iba is still not getting the adrenal glands upgrade. And considering the fact that he's got 81 Zerglings out, kind of say that it's pretty useful to get 81 links. Get some adrenal. We're about to have 3 links, but no adrenal. Honestly, Maples, that's one of the favorite things for me as well. After all these years of streaming and casting, that's what I really still do it for. Honestly, no one should do anything like I have done. Like for 15 years, almost every single day of your life is dedicated to one game. But it's the reverse cooking that can still get me going. There are very few things in life that I enjoy more. It's what gets me up in the morning. It's why I get out of bed. Something incredibly satisfying about it. Can't help it. Iba cooking as well. Iba has been cooking for a very long time in this game, but he really, like at this point on a serious note, needs to get adrenal glands. Because if we keep throwing away Lings, Lurkers, Hydras, Banes, eventually we're gonna run out of steam. And his army is just not going to perform well enough. I casted an insane game once of Vanya against Spirit on Neo-Humanity, I believe. I don't know why all the games that I always refer to happened on Neo-Humanity. It was really not that good of a map, but it happened. And I think Vanya lost around 13, or maybe it was Dragon Skills actually. And Vanya lost 1,300 Zerglings. I'm not joking. 1300. 1,300. Until he realized that he had no adrenal glands. He had like a 7-minute hive. The game went on for 28 minutes. The man made links after links after links. He never got adrenal. And at one point he's like, man, I know Terran is hard to beat, but it shouldn't be this hard. I've got the entire map, I've got so much more, I just can't kill anything. And then he finally took a look at his spawning pool, and then he realized he didn't get adrenal. There are a bunch of lurkers here in the mix zone, the links are gonna show up. Moja feels that he is just dead. And apparently Iba is no Vanya, is no RotterdaM. He doesn't need any adrenal glands. He gets it done without it. Why no Cloak and Pew Pew? I mean, Moja was pretty far behind in this game, to be fair. And he always just tried to stabilize, hang on, and eventually find some counter damage. I do think Cloakus is one of these mandatory upgrades, because there are always moments where the Zerg either runs out of Overseers, or the Overseer goes a little bit too far forward. And you can get some real value out of it. Oh, we'll see. It opened up with a 3 racks. Moja's opening obviously did not get done what he was looking for. And we'll see what game 3 brings. But for the second time tonight, I can say my favorite thing on the Friday evening, and that is that we're all tied up. There's nothing that I love more than saying that. Because that means that we are watching something that's competitive, both players getting a win. There's also a very softy part in me that doesn't like seeing 3-0s just because I feel sad for the guy that gets 3-0'd. Safe to say that every man or woman that's ever been invited to the BBB, I don't wish them losing 3-0. If I would have that feeling, I wouldn't invite them. So, I'm always happy to see that they're both getting one on the board. And from here on out, may the better video gamer win. We hosted the wrong one or the right one? I don't know. Iba says he's going to be right back for a few minutes. Oh, that's okay. If that is what Iba needs, I have peace with it. I hope that my Korean gamers, by the way, went to bed. The Big Brain Bouts is obviously at a very, very bad time for Korean players, and that is why historically we did not have a lot of Koreans. But these days they're just staying up longer and longer to play in all these events, and they're almost getting used to it. And now it has gotten to the point where they reach out to me and say, "Hey, Basilisk, Big Brain Bouts, want to play?" I was like, "All right, awesome, I'd love to have you. I just didn't want to bother you in the past by asking you if you want to play a single best of 5 at 4 or 5 a.m. But if I was a Korean player and I know that this is coming and I agree to play, I would legit just go to bed. Like, I would try to wake up very, very early, like 7 a.m., 8 a.m. on a Friday, At that point, you're definitely tired at like 10 or 11, especially if you go for a long walk or you do some exercise, whatever. Let's go to bed at 10, 11, get a 6-hour sleep in, wake up at 4, start warming up. That's what I would do. Staying up is obviously an option too, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of trying to perform at 5 a.m. in anything, honestly. It has to happen a whole lot earlier than that, guys. Yeah, I noticed that as well, Deffy, and it makes me happy. Because you guys have heard me say many times that I love Bunny. He's just, he's a cool guy. Even if he roasted me a couple times. But I think Bunny is awesome. And it just really gives me hope. I still, just like a lot of you guys out there, don't have 100% certainty of what happens this year in StarCraft. But the moment I see guys like Bunny play a lot, be active in online tournaments, grind, and try to get actively better again, try to peak, I start feeling pretty confident. Let's do it. Round 3.
Round 3. Fight.
The ultimate 8-Rex map. You guys want production tab? Shall we do a game without production tab? Obviously, there's a lot of info over here at the bottom, but I think we can take a little... Let's just give it a speed run. One game without a production tab. What the hell is even this? Spool first, top right side. This is a UK Zerg. Iba. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I would obviously, it would be really exciting. Like, I could do this, but this looks kind of ugly, no? I don't think you guys want to see an entire game like this because it just covers so much. I can't just hide this. You like this? Put my camera there. Super stretch out Roddy over the bottom. That'd be so ugly. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, guys, we've got not 1, but 2 Rexes being built. I'm talking about 8 Rex all day. Every Control W. Man, you're a god. All right. Oh my god, I'm so lost. I have no minimap. How can I observe? Wait, this is problematic. I need a minimap. Okay, we're gonna do it for one game, but this is crazy because I got no minimap. In the bottom left side, guys, we are looking at the main base of our German Terran. This is Moja. Yeah, but like, how can I can't jump. No, this is too much. It's okay. Alright, so it's full first with a couple of links running to the other side of the map. It's okay. Yeah, I know we need a minimap, but let's just do it one time. Here are the SCV, but this is a disaster for Moja because the links are out already. And at this point, obviously, Iba immediately knows what is up. He sees the SCVs. He is not going to have link speed, I think, for a long time. I'd love to take a little look at the main base, but I can't. But he gets a Marine early on. That's big. He gets an SCV. He should get a second Marine. Will get a second Marine. Iba at this point is obviously cooking. Yeah, no. Zoom the camera further out, yeah, but having everything super zoomed out. It's the castle's opening on the side of Iba. Iba should obviously be more than fine. The no minimap is too much. I could do without anything on the bottom, but you do need a minimap for observing. Otherwise, it's just too slow. And you guys will get dizzy. So, I think I'll bring it back. The Control W, I'm sorry about that. We can hide the production tab for a little bit. Obviously, Iba is looking mighty fine here as he shut this party down before it even got started. It's like throwing the sickest home party that you ever thought of. And right when you open the door to welcome your best friend, it's actually your parents. I'm like, what do you think is happening over here, young man? No parties tonight. All booze. Already cold. Wasted. The speaker set can be disassembled again. No home parties tonight. This one is already over. This is a mega start for Iba. I do completely agree with that. I would love to reverse roast you this time, but yeah, that is a take so solid that I cannot pull an Uno reverse on you. This one is indeed... It is almost over. Like, if the Terran was a whole lot better than the Zerg, it's not over. At this point, Iba and Moja are obviously very competitive one another. This is one of the worst 2 Rex openings you could possibly think of. It is looking incredibly bad for Moja. There's no other way to put it. But he's gonna try to cook. Fun fact though, guys, is that a long time ago, when Reynor was a young man who was still trying to get better, Reynor had a similar start to this versus Maru in GSL Codas. He was up 1-0, game 2 was an acid plant, and this is honestly kinda how the start looked for Reynor. Unfortunately, instead of just droning up and cooking and covering the map in creep, Reynor made a whole bunch of links and things, and he tried to kill Maru a bit early, and Maru barely survived, And because Reynor made so many links, he slowed his own economy down. And Maru eventually found a way to stabilize, turn things around, win game 2, win the series, and dropped Reynor to the lower bracket of that group stage. It was a very, very sad game, because if Reynor would have won that, he would have gone straight into the quarterfinals as either a 15 or a 16-year-old kid back then. That was, as a big Reynor fan already at that point, even though we weren't teammates. I think we were friends to some degree, but we didn't really talk a whole lot. That was such a painful game to watch, because he really had it. Reynor had a similar start to this, but then instead of just making all the right choices, he made a lot of links and he tried to kill Maru and it backfired. Sup, Roddy? What up, Michael? Sometimes I just get hit by a random, but sub Roddy. Someone like, it's like, oh, we've been hanging out lately. I was like, have we? What up, mate? I hope you're having a great Friday. Am I the only one that likes the production tab? Of course you're not the only one. I like the production tab too, because I'm used to it. But there is an argument to be made. This is a really bad game to do it. I can just give you guys the production tab. There really is an argument to be made. There's a Roaches show up, and I mean, Moja's just dead, man. Moja really has a soul little. He's got a battle cruiser that is 25% done. That is it. This was one of the worst 2 Rexes that you are going to see. Iba going pool first. Apparently the spidey senses were tingling for the young man from the UK. And he just got a quote-unquote build order victory, as some of the pro gamers call it. A blind counter. As good of a start as Iba would ever get. So in this game, though, it didn't change anything. I think there are a lot of games where it would really contribute to the excitement. This game was not one of them, because the start is just so freaking good for the Zerg that it's kind of over. I wish to say I could win this position against Clem. I think you could. I think at this point, Little Limbo, people got so smart, and everybody that is good at the game has such high level understanding of Starcraft. I think from that position, you could. I'm not sure I get why that was so bad for the Terran. Well, that is because the Terran opens up with not 1 but 2 barracks on the other side of the map. You start the game with 12 workers. Now 12 times, what is it? 7 is 94. 12 times 8 is a little bit over. So let's say 1 worker represents 7.5% of your economy. If you grab 2 of your first workers to the other side of the map, you are sacrificing 15%, 15% of your economy to do a rush. Yet your opponent opens up with a pool into an expanse. So they have 2 bases, you have 1. You donate 15% of your economy and you've got 0 production, because the barracks is on the other side of the map. They can't do anything, they can't produce any more units. So they have to fly home. So you're incredibly far behind economically and you've got no production. And I think at that point you understand why it's so bad for the Terran. Incredibly far behind and you can't build anything. That seems pretty bad, right? I don't think you need to be a Grandmaster League player or a rocket scientist to figure that out. I think that makes a lot of sense. Mules are very good, but they ain't that good.
Round 4. Fight.
That's why you do a Reaper instead. You mean Proxy Rex Reaper? That's a completely different build. Obviously, Proxy Reaper can be good. Wait, we're in a game. What am I doing? Hi, caramba, guys. That one single Friday night whiskey that I got is getting the best of me. Roddy really is an old man. Let's do it. It is match point for this man. A couple weeks ago, we celebrated him turning 16 into the main event. Unfortunately, that didn't quite go his way. Some good games, though, and he did get 1 win with his Protoss. But in the end, it was not quite good enough. Today, he's looking sharp with his main race. Our 16-year-old UK Zerg, Iba. Bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of our German Terran player. It is Moja. A man who loves TVZ. He's not a fan of TVP, but he absolutely loves TVZ. He's going to open things up normal. Of course, if Moja last game would have gone for Proxy Rex Reaper, yeah, it would have gone a lot better for him. But that is a completely different strategy. That's like dying to a lot of Immortals, and while you only have Zealots, and be like, hey, wouldn't like dying to a lot of Roaches, and you only have Zealots. Wouldn't Immortals be better here? Like, yeah, Immortals are better. And against slow Zerglings, Reapers are very good. Marines are not that good if you're trying to get a bunker up on the high ground. But, you know, sometimes you just decide to go for a certain build. These are decisions you make in the dark, and from there on out you play. And StarCraft is, of course, a game of skill, but it doesn't mean there isn't a little bit of RNG involved. And sometimes you get fortunate, sometimes you get incredibly unlucky. Kind of like a game of Monopoly. I played my first game of Monopoly yesterday night. My first game in probably like 15 if not 20 years. And I don't want to brag, guys, but I still got it. Dominated. It was the Family Guy version of Monopoly and I dominated. Thank you to Jotlantis for the 86 months. A sub with... Well, just regular, no prime actually. Thank you, matey. 86 months is obviously crazy long. Nobody flipped the table here, mate. It is a Reaper opening and Iba has no Zergling speed on the way. Does not have Zergling speed. Does have enough gas to fire it up. He's gonna try to get that hatchery down while the Reaper is trying to distract Iba in the main. Who are you playing as? So I called it the cannon. But it was... Well, it wasn't the dog. It was the little guy. But I'm not a Family Guy fan. Sorry. I don't know the names of the... personalities, people, whatever, characters. But the kid. Stewie. Yeah, I think I play... That's what it is. I play with Stewie. I'm not a Family Guy fan. But it was Vicky's Monopoly. And she brought it over a long time ago. That's the one we used. We also have two different versions. We have Deluxe and World Cities, I think. I heard that Angie and Lino want revenge tonight. They were not happy about the fact they got absolutely cooked by me. So maybe tonight, once I'm done casting Starcraft for a couple hours, we have round 2 of Monopoly. And we'll probably play a different version. I basically won because I got the red streak. I think the red streak is kind of goated. Because every time somebody goes to jail, they have a real chance. Because, you know, obviously when you roll dice, a 7 is the most common outcome. 6 and 8 is very, very common too, but 7 is the most common, kind of like craps. So, if people start in jail and you roll a 7, then they have a perfect setup to roll another 6, 8, 7, whatever, and land on your red streaks. So, I basically dominated the game because I got the red streaks. We've got a Reaper and 2 Hellions diving into the natural. Ooh, those drones are clumped up, and it may not be 3 Hellions, but even 2 Hellions can absolutely hurt here. Moja gets a couple hits up. Iba saves it. What is Iba cooking, guys? Just a couple links, couple drones. Everything is standard. I assume Zergling speed is done. It is done. I'll bring it back, Seb. Don't be tilted. You see? Because you actually have to pay attention. You can't just look at some numbers and know everything that's happening. But I know, you can't just change things in 2025 after giving people something for 12, 13 years. You can't just change something as drastic as hiding all the info. But it definitely would make a lot of games more exciting. 100%. Be more exciting for casters, be more exciting for viewers. I am a strong believer. But I also understand how big of a change it would be. Moja rallies 4 more Hellions into the third base of Iba. Gets a single shot off. It's another battlecruiser opening. I'm actually a little bit surprised by the openings that Moja has shown us tonight. BC Hellbat, a 3 Rex opening, Proxy 2 Rex, and another BC opening. Our ultimate 8 Rex. So what about this making 4 to 6 Hellions and a Banshee or 2 and then we 8 Rex? I feel like you have no clue what's happening. I know, so imagine how exciting the battles would be. Then imagine a game set where, let's say, Fjont is playing a really big series. And you've got no idea what's happening. But then you see Lynx and Banes crashing into Sentries and Stalkers. And you have no idea what's happening. But you just hope that your guy wins. The excitement would truly be there. Battlecruiser jumps to the other side of the map. He's going to get on top of Queens immediately. The Queen count is 7. 4 Hellions are going to try to help soften up these Queens a little bit. It's obviously not going to be Boris, the invincible battlecruiser from game 1. But might still get something done. Or you should do a radio cast. We could do that one day. If you guys want to do something silly, let's say upcoming Monday, we've got Monday Night Weekly number 8. If you guys, like for science, we can just literally do one game in the round of 32, round of 16, where I don't show you guys the game. And I'll try to do radio commentary. And then you guys can let me know if you find it exciting or if you think it was the worst thing that ever happened. I don't want to do that in the Big Brain Bouts, but upcoming Monday, let's do it. Why not? Let's do a radio broadcast. Just one game. And then you guys can take a look at the replay afterwards and think that, yeah, that's how you envisioned the game, or that's not what you thought was happening at all. Like, just for science, it could be fun. Full screen Roddy, voice only. And I will make hand signals and I'll talk about all the things that I normally don't talk about. I think it would be fun. It'd be hype too. And I think you guys will honestly be able to envision the game incredibly well. I think if I do a proper job, if I do a good job, you guys will be like, even if I didn't see the game, I kind of feel like I saw the game. And if you then look at it afterwards, you're like, yeah, that's exactly what I thought would happen. Fun, let's do it. Monday. First game in the round of 32, we're doing it. Yeah, I've had this as well, sort of lot. Sometimes when I am, if I'm driving somewhere, obviously I don't have a stream open because watching Starcraft while driving is one of the dumbest things you could ever do. Please don't do that. No matter how much passion you think you may have, don't do that. But I've had plenty of moments where I put either Wardy on or Lambo on. If they're casting something, I'm driving somewhere, just listening to them, I get a very good picture of how a certain game played out. Or sometimes I just have like Coco on the radio and she's talking about her own games and how her cheese is going, and I can kind of, you know, picture the games even though I'm not watching, and I literally just have audio only. Double battle cruiser is gonna get a cancel on the 5th base over here of Iba. Only 2 Starcraft fans watching while driving. You can watch all the Starcraft you want in the car, mate. Just make sure you're the passenger. As long as you're the passenger, and whether it's front seat or back seat, watch as much as you want. But please, and pardon my French, but don't be an idiot. Do not watch Twitch streams while driving. This should go without saying. And I absolutely believe that 99.8% of the people listening to me right now will say, obviously, I'm not stupid. For the 0.2% out there, please don't stop. This is dangerous. Texting, watching stuff, whether it's a show, don't do it. This is stupid. It's not even about your own life. It's about the life of other people. This goes without saying, guys. This is not nothing. This is not a hot take. This is not anybody saying the correct thing. Just don't. Don't just do it for yourself, but do it for others. A lot of Marines stimming forward, double BC support in the sky. Bailing connections are okay. I mean, Moja's supply is dipping rather quickly, and that does scare me a little bit. Iba temporarily had double invitation pit, actually has 2 invitation pits. But, you know, these are the things you can get away with if you can just get one sweet fight. And on 3, Bailings are so incredibly good on 3. And it kind of feels that Moja's getting hammered here, but maybe our German Terran can turn things around. As long as we can save like 30, 40 Marines, you always have a chance. But if we keep losing more and more Marines to the base, we don't have a chance. And things are starting to look better and better here for our 16-year-old UK Zerg, already up 2-1. Strong series by Iba. That's kind of nice as well, right? I kind of feel like that's what he needed after we gave him the main event a couple weeks ago. And obviously that didn't go his way, but that was a tough series. Tonight he's looking good, he's looking sharp, and he's showing why. A lot of people are not just hoping for offline events, but are hoping to see a man like Iba travel to some international StarCraft events and see what this 16, eventually 17, and hopefully 18-year-old kid can cook up in some offline events. Because I feel like I've seen very talented young Zergs in the past that turned out to have pretty amazing careers. I really wish the same for Iba. Scan goes down, Moja pushing back a little bit of creep, also trying to multitask. I don't want to say that I think Moja is a slow player, but he's definitely not somebody that spams APM, and there are some moments where you can see he's a little bit slower than some of the other rapid kids out there. The APM average, like in moments like this, it will still go up to 300, but Moja's average APM is a whole lot lower than almost anybody else on this level, because he just doesn't do the useless clicking, he doesn't do the spamming. He doesn't really believe in spamming rally points and trying to get warmed up to get those numbers up. Moja will very often be chilling at 120 to 140 APM. Yet he is a high Grandmaster League Terran, one of the best Terrans we have in Europe. And he's going to have to win a fight real soon as Iba is on hive tech. And it comes down to these 62 Marines, 3 tanks, and a battlecruiser somewhere. It's actually in the middle of all these medevacs. Okay, good micro this time. Saves a lot of Marines, guys. Moja saves a lot of Marines. How is this? I want to say drop going in the main, but it's not much of a drop anymore. A couple of Marines are going hard and they will kill a few drones and maybe a queen, but that's not what Moja wants. Moja wants to win an all-out war. Oh, we burrowed a couple of banelings. Do you guys think Moja saw it? I think he saw it. I think he saw it. It was a little obvious. Throws on a scan. And his tank does kill those Banes. It is a hive tech for the Zerg. We've got a Viper out. We don't have a Reynor glance. Apparently Iba is the first Zerg in history to make 6 point something K and do not ever get a Reynor glance. Now I understand why the kid never wins late gamers EVP. He doesn't get a Adrenal. No wonder he thinks Protoss is unbeatable. Obviously right when you say that he fires it up immediately. Lings and Banes leading the charge. Moja on the edge of grid. The blinding cloud is going to make the Marines derp a little bit, and that's going to force Moja to run so far away from his tanks. A parasitic bomb for the ages. Moja does find it in the end. Well, we have to go back. We can rebuild Marines and tanks. The problem is though, we're not fighting Lings and Banes anymore. We're going to fight Lurkers and Vipers, and that is so incredibly hard with Marine tank. He told him to get it after game 2. I'm sure that he really needed you, Seb, to understand that the Reynor glance is good. Iba again burned a couple banelings here. He wants to give us one big boom. Moja does not want to give Iba the fireworks that Iba is looking for. Like, in a weird way, the numbers in this game are somewhat close, are competitive. It's just, I've watched enough DeMusliM when he still played Starcraft 2 to know that Marine tank doesn't do very good against Lurkers with upgrades. There's a reason why our boy is playing with Delhi these days, and England and France. And they've got weird little pirate ships that turn around like a skateboard. Marine tank, not that good against Viper Lurker. You're gonna need something else. Best coach. Sap, guys, coming to conclusions that no Zerg ever got to in 15 years of this game. Like, hey man, try that Adrenal glance up there. When Day 9 used to cast Starcraft 2, Day 9 often called it the most important upgrade in the game. And because Day 9 kept on calling it the most important upgrade in the game, Mr. Bitter kept on repeating it. So every cast I ever did with Mr. Bitter, I had to listen to how Day 9 said it was the most important upgrade to the game. And now when I lay in bed, even 14 years later, I think of Mr. Bitter who was thinking of Day 9, calling it the most important upgrade of the game. Day 9 lives rent-free in my head. Lynx, Banes, Hydras, and Lurkers lead the charge. They get good connections once more with the Marines. And Moja is just running out of steam here, guys. We Hydra dash the Hydras forward as well. Or launch, whatever it is. Find a few Lynx, get a surround on the tank. The tank falls, the Marines fall. And Iba sets the record straight. Perhaps on his birthday he wasn't able to shine. Today, he looked damn good. Gotta give it to the kid. Our 16-year-old Zerg from the UK looked damn good here, playing some ZVT against Moja. A man who has played in a couple home story cups and had a lot of good wins in the past. Iba looked damn good. And I mean, if you look at Iba like this, it's like, how do you not get excited over this kid just getting a little bit better and then going to some offline events and showing what he's made out of? I find it the most normal and likely thing in the world. I hope that Iba can continue to look better, get better, and take it to the next level. Because he's already a damn good video gamer. 80 buckies will go to our UK Zerg. You guys believed in the youngster as well. So Iba wins $80 provided by BASILISK. Moja will still get 20 for the best of 5 that he put on. Iba is our winner though. And that means we're going to get ready for our third series of the night. The big man from last Monday. Mindo VK. If you guys ever wonder, Roddy, how do I get into the Big Brain Bouts? Because it seems very fun. You play a series and you always get paid whether you win or lose. Mindo VK sends me a DM on Saturday. Hi, Roddy, I'd like to play Big Brain Bouts. It's like, okay, well, you're not alone. Monday, he signs up for the weekly and he finishes top 6. And he gets big win after big win. That's how you get in. You tell me you want to play. and then you play some of the weekly cups, and you give me a damn good reason to invite you. So Mindo VK versus BASILISK, of course, the younger brother of that other Basilisk member that is Reynor. Mindo is our Russian Protoss, BASILISK, of course, Italian Terran. $100 for the winner, $25 for the loser. It's a big brain bouts. Go main event number 88. And Mindo VK, RUP, BASILISK, Ita T. Honestly, tough one. BASILISK looked damn good lately. Mindo VK looked freaking amazing last Monday. Mindo plays Protoss. Protoss is better than it's ever been. Protoss is so good, it's literally killing the scene inside out at this point. Everybody's uninstalling, nobody's playing. That's how good Protoss is. I guess I picked the Protoss, but HeroMarine is a damn good gamer these days. And he's starting to show more and more of that Romiti magic. So, curious to see what you guys vote for. Probably for the Protoss, but let's see. TVP, guys, coming up. I'm going to take a little break. I've done a lot of yapping. I hope you guys are having fun. Hope you're enjoying it. If you do enjoy it, obviously you can always follow the stream. We do this every single Friday. On Monday night, we also cover the weeklies. I've had a couple of very exciting talks recently. And I have the feeling that plenty of good things are coming. This is not an EWC thing, but plenty of other things. We love what we do, and we want to obviously keep doing it. I'll take a tiny break, and then I'll be back. TVP coming up, and you guys are all appreciated for being here. Even if you have some bad takes, like Akaroni, thinking he can beat Serral and Reynor in a 1v2 just because he gets some bonus gas. Still appreciated. Even with takes like that. I'll be right back. I'll see you guys soon.